CW 2025. That's right, the Chicken Wrap Wars of 2025 are upon us. As I'm recording this, we are in the middle of summer, and there are 8 fast food restaurants all vying to see who is going to be the king of the Chicken Wrap Wars. Now, before we get into it, I want you to consider giving this video a like, maybe subscribing to the channel, because, if pop culture poultry floats your boat, and if you want to see if I've got more to say than just chicken, I got a lot going on, so subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get into it. The Chicken Wrap Wars of 2025. Which restaurant is going to come out on top, and which ones are just clucking around? Timeline of chicken war escalation. On June 2nd, Popeyes jumps into the ring. On June 8th, Taco Bell jumps in. On July 8th, Sonic gets into the picture. And on July 10th, the one that started it all, McDonald's returns with their much loved, much hyped chicken wrap. But here's the thing, the chicken wars actually started before this summer. A few restaurants introduced chicken wraps in the last couple years. In fact, Burger King and Wendy's released a chicken wrap in 2023. Arby's released a chicken wrap in 2024. All three were essentially taking digs at McDonald's for not having their much touted chicken wrap on the menu anymore. And something very interesting, Chick-fil-A's had a chicken wrap on the menu since 2001. In fact, the thing looks like a throwback from the 90s, but we'll get into that in a minute. Now that you know the players, let's get into their game. We're gonna kick things off with the chicken wrap that just doesn't really fit in with the rest. Chick-fil-A's chicken wrap features grilled chicken breast, lettuce, and cheese, all wrapped in a flaxseed flour flatbread. Now that literally sounds like something you get at the Whole Foods grab and go, and it's priced like that too. It's $11. I'm just gonna look at this and say this was designed for someone who had to eat a salad with one hand on the steering wheel. I want to know in the comments, does this look like a meal to you, or does it look like something from a diet plan with no imagination? It's a hard pass for me and a far cry from the rest of the chicken wraps on this list. Burger King's chicken wrap features fried chicken tenders, lettuce, tomato, sauce, and a flour tortilla for $3 a pop. Critics were mixed about this chicken wrap. Some people said it was well seasoned. Other people said it was a little light in the chicken department and the execution was a little sloppy. If there is one thing I know about Burger King in general, is that it's never anyone's first choice, including the people who work there. Arby's chicken wrap features a fried chicken tender, shredded lettuce, shredded cheese, and a choice of sauce in a flour tortilla. Personally, I have my eye on the peppercorn ranch. Critics were generally favorable here. One critic said that the flavors were good, but the portion was a little disappointing. The other critic was actually impressed with the portion, calling it a well-executed snack, especially for the price of $3. Not gonna lie, I am tempted by that peppercorn ranch, but I'm reminded that I'm going back to Arby's, which somehow turned roast beef, one of my favorite deli meats of all time, into a living nightmare. Wendy's chicken wraps come in packs of 2, grilled or fried. Either way you get it, it's gonna come with shredded lettuce, shredded cheese, ranch, all in a flour tortilla. Now, one critic went so far as to say that the chicken was pretty darn juicy. They were impressed with it and how flavorful it is. Now, I'm not gonna lie, back in the day, I loved that Wendy's spicy crispy fried chicken sandwich. I even had it a few years later, and it was mid, but it was decent. It wasn't disgusting, because sometimes when you go back and have fast food again, you're like, what was I thinking? Now, Wendy's does pose a case for a chicken wrap that might be worth it, but it's a financial commitment. If you want it, you're gonna have to spend $7 because it only comes in packs of 2. One other thing I want to add, the same critic went further and said, why is the chicken so tasty? I mean, it's fast food. And I'm like, bruh, this is fast food poultry. We don't go asking questions about what's happening behind the curtain. If you think about it, Taco Bell has been in the wrap game the whole time. All these wraps use flour tortillas, and they serve tacos and burritos, and they use flour tortillas in all those things. All they had to do is come up with a fried chicken tender. At $2.99, Taco Bell chicken wrap with shredded lettuce and shredded cheese and pico de gallo actually makes a ton of sense, and on paper I think Taco Bell is an easy contender for king of the chicken wrap game. The thing is, you just have to get over the fact that you're going to Taco Bell, which has literally been the butt of everyone's fast food jokes like forever. And by the way, that pun was intended. It shouldn't be surprising that Sonic would get into the chicken wrap wars. What is surprising is what seems to be an impressive chicken wrap they've put together. On paper, you're looking at a flour tortilla wrapping up a fried chicken tender with some shredded lettuce, shredded cheese, tomato, but what's interesting are the sauces. They have a Baja cheesy sauce and a chipotle. Kind of reminds me of what Taco Bell is doing. Now here's the kicker. A critic went out of their way to cite the quality of the flour tortilla, remarking on its texture for having a really pleasant pull and chew. Frankly, I'm intrigued, especially for a place like Sonic that is quite frankly a bottom of the barrel fast food restaurant that exists when people are just sick of going to McDonald's. Well look, it was only a matter of time before we get to Popeyes. Louisiana Fresh, the fast food fried chicken titan that single-handedly changed our expectations of what a fast food fried chicken sandwich could be, of course has a chicken wrap for the chicken wrap wars. You get your choice of regular fried chicken tender or blackened, which is spicy, wrapped in a flour tortilla with shredded lettuce, shredded cheese, and pickles, because fried chicken and pickles are best friends. Now look, it's hard not to think about Popeyes as a strong contender, but surprisingly, critics were a little mixed on the reviews here, but if I had to be a betting man, I would say Popeyes would finish in the top 3 of my chicken wrap wars any day of the week. The wrap that started it all, a McCrispy because it is McDonald's, finds itself wrapped in a flour tortilla with shredded lettuce, shredded cheese, and 2 choices of sauce, ranch or spicy pepper. Now, McDonald's might be the creator of the chicken wrap craze, but it's far from the master. In fact, most critics found the chicken wrap to be above average at best. But to be honest, guys, I'm not sure it matters. The fervor for McDonald's chicken wrap has created a bona fide lettuce shortage. So no matter what happens at the end of these chicken wrap wars, Ronald McDonald is walking away a fat cat. So what were the critics' picks for the winners of the chicken wrap wars of 2025? Well, one critic gave the crown to Taco Bell, citing a basic fact. They've been in the chicken wrap, really the food wrap business, the entire time. Their number 2 went to Popeyes. The other critic crowned Sonic as the winner of the chicken wrap wars of 2025, single-handedly because of their excellent flour tortilla. I gotta say, I never saw that coming. Sonic. So, what's my take on the chicken wrap wars of 2025? Gun to my head, if I had to pick one, it would be Taco Bell, just based on the fact that the other toppings I could add at Taco Bell, namely pico de gallo, any other salsa, guacamole, just make a ton of sense. So yeah, for me, I'd try Taco Bell, but I'll tell you what I'm really excited about. I want to make my own chicken wrap. I get myself a flour tortilla from a local bakery, fry my own chicken tender. I'm thinking some guac, some pico de gallo, and a jalapeno ranch. Yeah, I think that would slap. But I want to know this. What do you guys think? Is there a chicken wrap that floats your boat? Do you have a contender for the king? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, consider giving it a like or subscribe to the channel, or maybe both. Oh, and one more thing. These wraps are cheap, but most food isn't. So if you're going to spend your dough on dough, make sure it's tasty. Thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you on the next one.